All right. Thank you everyone for joining. And for those of you watching at home, today is really about helping you kind of keep the momentum when it comes to any of your inquiries or your customers who might be interested in Dubai or Middle East, especially given what's going on. Before I move on, I just want to introduce myself. So my name is Ali. I'm the groups manager here for Asia and Americas, and alongside me is going to be Sid. I'll let him do a quick intro in a second. But yes, the two of us here will be kind of going through some sample itineraries, some great options for you and your clients, and hopefully you can find this useful the next time you're battling with someone when it comes to a group that may be wanting to go to Dubai or maybe has canceled it. So we'll give you a few details on that. But yes, I'll be running the main presentation and then Sid will be sharing some itineraries with you as well. Sid?
Uh, Welcome everybody. So I'm Sid and I do look after group itinerary planning for Asia, and we're here to give you some motivation to convince all your clients about these amazing trips to Bali, Thailand, and Vietnam.
Amazing. So yeah, the goal here, just to kind of set the agenda, is not to start from scratch or lose your sale or lose your big group. It's to ensure that you can confidently feel that you can pivot from Dubai or the Middle East into some of these other destinations. And hopefully, the destinations we present, starting with these three options, can deliver the same wow factor for your clients were originally excited about. Because I very well understand, having been to Dubai probably 20 plus times, it gives us a very different feeling, especially for those traveling for the very first time. So today, what you'll see is we're going to focus on three very strong substitutions: Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. And then we'll also share some tours that not only we've ran in the past that have been proven to work when it comes to somebody or a group looking for a similar experience. Right now, the biggest issue I would say is not the destination itself, but I think it's the hesitation. Unfortunately or fortunately, all of us in this industry have been through this during previous couple of conflicts in the last couple of years. Of course, the pandemic maybe was the biggest practice. But what we find at Go Away Groups, especially dealing with hundreds and hundreds of agents and groups, is that it comes down to the hesitation. If you don't project the confidence, or once the client gets nervous, of course, momentum starts to drop. But if you feed into that, if you delay, if you ask to wait, if you let them know I'm going to get back to you, this is where sometimes we're going to even cast even more doubt, or they're going to be super encouraged to be like, oh, okay, clearly you don't feel confident about even offering me another option. So this is where they'll obviously ask for that cancellation. So that's why hopefully today you're going to go through some verbiage, go through some options when it comes to exploring different destinations. And then what we want to do in an ideal scenario is redirect that conversation very early on with confidence. So instead of letting the uncertainty kill the sale, we want to reposition it. We want to give them a different destination that, again, delivers the same excitement, same luxury, and the same appeal for your group. This, I would say, is the most important slide in the whole deck for me because I think clients may say to you, or when somebody talks about Dubai, what they're usually buying is not the city or the map point, it's the feeling. It's the feeling, they want skyline, they want the luxury hotels, they want the warm weather, they want the food, they want the diversity, they want the world-class shopping, and of course the visually impressive features. And then this is where I'm encouraging you to really think about it, because once you understand this aspect, that it's definitely more than the feeling, than something they've actually not even lived yet, then it becomes very easy for us as agents and as their travel advisors to make that pivot. Because to be honest, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam can absolutely deliver all of these things that I'm showing you on the screen, whether that's the weather, whether that's the shopping, the luxury, or even the budget-friendly nature of it. So that's something we're going to walk you through it. But then to start with, this is where it's super important on that very first phone call when you get from your group leader or from your group. If it's, let's say, a spec group, it could be anyone who has that initial dialogue with you. This is where you don't want to get stuck defending one destination. Instead, very, very, very quickly, we as the expert travel advisors need to make the shift and shift the conversation basically from the geography to the experience of the group. So instead of saying Dubai is off, what else do you want? You can say something like what your group loved about this concept can absolutely be recreated elsewhere. Let me show you a few options with the same excitement and the same premium feel that you were going for. Of course, not every destination is going to work as a replacement, and a good switch sell, as we call it, when it comes to a different destination, has to have three things. So it needs to have the original vision. So you really need to know inside out the type of travel style they were going for, exactly what their end result of that trip was going to be, and still feel exciting and premium. And then, of course, practical enough to quote, so the price points aren't too off. And then hopefully you can convince them to actually book it and make that final decision. And this is what we don't want. We don't want a destination that sounds nice in theory, but becomes too difficult to either price or to confirm. And this is why what we're going to show you when it comes to Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam all work really well because they check off the emotional box and, of course, the commercial box as well. So the first one here, honestly, I wanted to start with this because it's close to home for me. I went there with family. I went there by myself. It's, I would say, probably the cleanest one-to-one pivot for clients who are attracted to Dubai's polished modern side. It has a skyline. It has the premium hotels. It has the rooftop dining. It has the visual wow factor that usually people are intrigued by when they see Dubai on their social media. And it's one of those destinations that really feels upscale without it being too complicated, to be honest. And especially for those shorter premium groups, or even incentive groups, or even clients who want a very sleek, let's say, city break, Singapore, I would say, is definitely a very, 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 very strong first option that you should be presenting. And again, I've already gone through the imagery, but really, whether it's your clients are looking for the luxury feel, whether it's a corporate incentive, whether it's nightlife, whether it's family, whether it's food, it really, really, really does check off all the boxes. The next one, Thailand, gives you something slightly different. It's got more range, I would say. I would say a bit more flexibility, and because of the conversion rate, usually much more value for your money. And I think this is the best switch sell when the original group liked the idea of being in a big city, plus the relaxation side of it, the fun side of it, the nightlife, the beaches, or even it could be something to celebrate. So this is where I hope the pictures can really make you visualize how diverse the ranges would be, whether it's a private family group with children, adults, a city life, the beach life. Um, because it's so diverse within just a couple of hours, Bangkok can bring you the energy, the temples, the markets, the rooftop dining, and then very quickly, some place like Koh Samui or Phuket can bring the beach and the island side. And it's one of those easy destinations to build because it can be luxury. At the same time, it can be budget friendly. It can be super fun. It can be very peaceful, very cultural, or relaxing. It all depends on your group and what your group or you are looking for. Vietnam. So this option is I would use this when the client wants something that feels really memorable and very distinctive. This destination is going to be less about the gloss, even though it's got plenty of it. But I think it's more about the scenery, the food, and I think the sense of discovery, because it's not everyone's go-to option, to be honest. But I think it works really well, especially for culture-focused groups, discovery groups, or clients who want more depth than just a beach stay. And all pictures I'm sharing with you are very real pictures, either coming directly from our suppliers or even some real pictures I've snuck in there from our actual Go Away groups in the past. But yeah, Vietnam definitely isn't roughing it. It can still feel very elevated, but it's very beautiful, and I think it offers much, much, much more cultural depth. Now, the next few slides is just to kind of ensure you have the correct pitch or the correct or use of the words when you're trying to present these as three options. But yeah, so I'm just going to quickly go over this. So this is very simply put, Singapore is best for luxury city seekers. It's, if not the most expensive, the top two most expensive countries in the world. So you really can get that high-end exclusive feel. Thailand is best for city plus beach variety. And then Vietnam, simply put, I would say for culture and discovery seekers. So if you just remember this framework, it would become very easy for you to pivot and to switch or to respond to your group depending on their criteria. You could mix it up, and we'll get to that towards the end. You could mix, let's say, Singapore and Bali is a common mixture, or even some of these countries. It really depends on what's the group's goals, the budget, and of course, how much time they actually have. Now we're going to move on to some tours, and this is where I'll ask Sid to kind of take over, and then he's going to go over all three options in some details.
Yeah, so we'll just quickly review all the itineraries. These are some bestseller itineraries which we were able to cross-sell, like people who were intrigued to go to Dubai have really booked all these itineraries. So this is from one of the groups we've just booked. This is for Singapore. So this is a 5 night, 6 days getaway wherein you get like identical experiences to what you'd be doing in Dubai. So you get to stay in one of the finest properties, which is the Park Royal Collection by the Bay. So it's called Marina Bay Sands. So you have a lot of variety in terms of hotels to choose from, budget-friendly options to luxury options. You have it all in Singapore. The next day is towards a city tour. So you'd be doing the Merlion Park, the Marina Bay Sands, Infinity combo, the Singapore Flyer, which is as good as the Burj Khalifa experience, Little India experience, which gives you the cultural side of Singapore and Chinatown. The third day is for the Gardens by the Bay experience. So this experience in itself is a great outing, especially if you're traveling with your families, your friends. Uh, Day four would be for Sentosa, wherein you could get on some joy rides and then also Universal Studios. Day five is a safari experience wherein you get to do the night safari along with the Singapore Botanic Gardens and the National Orchid Garden as well. So this is a destination which I would say has all the flavors, Asian flavors you can ask for. It is a multi-layered journey wherein you're covering culture, food, nature, spirituality, and history all in one trip. So I feel that Singapore is one of our best-selling destinations, and I'm sure it can work for other groups as well. Most of the itineraries which we have for Singapore are starting from $1,800 and above, which is a great selling point too. So, Ali, back to you.
Yep. And then just, yeah, going ahead, you can continue. So the next one up we're going to share with you, or Sid's going to share with you, is again a real itinerary for Bangkok and Phuket.
Like I said, for Singapore, so even Thailand is a destination which has better value for money. It is significantly more affordable than in the Middle East. If you compare the property options from private villas, five-star properties, uh, to guided tours, Thailand would come to you at a much better price point. You can also upgrade all your experiences without increasing your budget. In the same trip, in the same cost, you get an authentic cultural experience and an heritage experience. With this itinerary of ours, we have clubbed Bangkok and Phuket, which is the southernmost part of Thailand. So it has a glimpse of some city and temple tours. It has some leisure time for all the beach lovers out there. You have some island hopping tours as well. So it's a great experience, I would say, which anybody looking to travel to Dubai for a beach getaway would prefer. So they can also opt for Thailand, which is, I feel, something more meaningful and authentic.
Hmm. And just to kind of emphasize Sid's point, the price point is really the big factor. It's so cheap when it comes to meals on a daily basis, even those high end. So you really get, or you can really stretch your dollar. So again, you can have a visit on our website, and I'll speak about that towards the end. But these are starting from prices, of course, depending on the free spot or the FOC, depending on your um, margins as well. We can talk about the best budget, but Thailand again, when it comes to really stretching your dollar, you can get a lot of luxury and save a lot as well. And then I think, especially for this sort of tour, I think it would work really well for celebratory groups, friend groups, incentive groups. And I think, yeah, sky is the limit in terms of customization. But yeah, these tours, what we're presenting, are real tours that have actually happened. So they're vetted, they're verified, well reviewed, and it's something that you don't risk your client's experience as well. For Vietnam, same thing. I'll let Sid take over, but it's again one of those proven Vietnam journeys. And then I'll hand it over to Sid just to describe the day to day quickly.
Uh, Zed, would you want to do it?
On mute.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so hi, I'm Suzette. I'm also one of the group specialists for Asia, and so I'll go over quickly this Vietnam itinerary. So it's a quick one. It's an 8 night itinerary, basically going through from north to central and to South Vietnam. So the first 2 days will be in Hanoi. The group will technically be flying into Hanoi, visiting the famous spots there, the Old Quarter, the Ho Quan Lake, and another a street food evening tour. Now this place, Hanoi is the capital of Vietnam. It tends to be busy. It has the same bustling feel of Dubai, but it for me it tends to be more authentic and more laid back, if I may say that. And then, so the following days would be in Halong Bay. So this is a different experience. I know we have some dinner cruises in Dubai, but the Halong Bay cruise is a very different experience. It's definitely something most of the travelers would really want to experience once in their lifetime. It's going to be an overnight cruise and there will also be some experiences like kayaking, some visits to the limestones of the Halong Bay. And again, this is something that I've personally experienced, and it's really one for the books. So if we're not just looking for a quick dinner cruise in Dubai, then an overnight cruise would definitely be something we can also look at. And then right after the Halong Bay cruise, we'll do the Hoi An. So Hoi An is in central Vietnam. This is an ancient town in Vietnam, and it's more, for me, this is my favorite city in Vietnam. For me, it's more unique. There are a lot of experiences that you can do here, cooking classes, tailoring experience. I know shopping is definitely an experience you would want to visit in Dubai, but doing shopping and the tailor experience in Vietnam, you can also do it just the same, but you'll be paying certainly less than what you're paying in Dubai. And then we'll end the trip in the southern part of Vietnam, which is the Ho Chi Minh City. And it's the city where Vietnam, where which holds most history among all the cities that you are going to basically visit in this itinerary. It has the war history. I know it could be a bit more, so we can definitely. So we're just spending 2 days here, one night, and it's going to be like a quick one. It's going to visit the war history, the Bentan Market. Bentan Market is definitely a place you definitely don't want to miss. Again, it's shopping. It's not luxury, but again, your dollars would go a lot way more than, than shopping in Dubai, and then we can set up a farewell dinner for you. Now, this itinerary is perfect for groups that are wanting depth, authenticity, and shared experiences. And this price, it's very definitely cheaper than what you can get for Dubai. It starts at 1600, so for 8 nights, 1600, that's definitely a great deal. And from a personal standpoint, Dubai is more about luxury, shopping, skyscrapers, which definitely we have in Vietnam. It could, but for me, on a personal note, because Vietnam is more on the culture, scenery, and more authentic experiences. So on a personal note, no, it really would depend on what the group wants, the kind of trip the group wants. But personally, Vietnam tends to feel more unique, more authentic, and more memorable. Just being there, just 6 months ago, I was there, and I've experienced all of this, what's in this itinerary, and again, it's something the group might want to really consider in the future.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And yeah, you kind of took my words. I was just going to say that, like, I think the difference between Vietnam, if you're looking at comparing to Thailand and Singapore, your group won't just get a relaxing trip out of it, but it'll be memorable and it'll be genuinely memorable. And you'll go away by feeling like, wow, that was a very underrated idea I had of Vietnam before going in. And then coming out of it, it's going to feel very different. And we're going to wrap up where we kind of started off, just in terms of dialogue and conversation, because words matter, especially how you make your group leaders and your customers feel. So it's super important just sharing best practices with each other. So a lot of switch selling, I think, and the success comes down to how you frame that conversation. So if you want clients to feel like they're gaining something, not losing something, you have to use phrases like the same wow factor, stronger value, or we can preserve the original feel of your trip are much more effective than just listing options. So it would feel kind of robotic if I'm like, oh, Dubai is not open, or okay, you're not feeling comfortable there. How about you just go to Singapore? That's not how you present it. So it really makes a difference in how you're even presenting the option, whether it's Vietnam, whether it's Thailand, whether it's Singapore. You need to try and match the same energy that they were hoping to get out of that Dubai trip. Or it could be Middle East. I keep saying Dubai, any of the affected regions. It just makes it's super important for you to know what the goal was to begin with, so then you can actually pivot and make them understand what any of these three destinations might give them. So yeah, when a destination becomes uncertain, the instinct can be to kind of pause everything, and it's very natural in this day and age, especially when the flight routes get affected as well. But from a sales perspective and from a travel advisor, the better move is to pivot quickly while you still have your customers emotionally engaged. By that, it could be that it's a commitment through a deposit or that they are still waiting for you to let them know or for you to lead them in terms of what the options are. So if you keep the same purpose of the trip, lead with what stays the same and use visuals. So I hope you get an idea of how to kind of present this to your groups, very similar to how I've been doing it and we've been doing it for you today. A lot of visuals, a lot of pictures, making them feel and understand what the actual experience might be. And that's how you actually stop a group from drifting away or going cold or canceling. Then you kind of let them to go towards more inspiration and really make them dream about any of these destinations. And this is just kind of, again, a very practical checklist, I would say. So ask your clients, ask your groups what they love the most, reframe the experience around that, lead with your strongest recommendation, and keep your language client friendly. So again, a lot of positivity, letting them know I just spoke with our suppliers in Bangkok. Everything is normal. Life has not been affected. As long as we can get you there, that's the biggest thing. Safety, again, remembering what the client, what is important to the client, and just kind of emphasizing that and making them understand that you are also keeping that as one of your priorities. So these tested itineraries, hopefully that we shared with you today, can now give you that idea, or let's say give you that confidence to ensure that you actually can convince or at least present a few options to your groups. And then just very quickly, in terms of what us, your partners at GoAway, can give you, the key message here again is that you're not in this alone. I know you might be their representative, their spokesperson, but here at GoAway, we have a whole team of specialists. You can see a few of us on this call. And this is where our team can really help you when it comes to destination matching, the quotes, the sample itineraries, even talking points, and even materials that you can use to try and get a sense of whether your group is still engaged or not, or whether there will be any interest in Thailand. Maybe you put some feelers out there, a sample flyer, just to kind of gauge the interest. So the ask is not for you to become an instant expert in all of Asia overnight or become an expert in Singapore. It's for you to know when to use us or when you can rely on some samples or just rely on some itineraries to kind of show your agents or your groups already that, okay, this is something that I would love to present and do for your group. And then, yes, just wrapping up here, the main takeaway is the wow factor, and then just ensuring that it has not disappeared, that it's kind of moving in different areas. So again, if whether it's Dubai or the Middle East, when it starts to feel uncertain, my recommendation is don't let the conversation die there. It's very easy to talk about refunds and rescheduling 12 months from now. You need to present these options with confidence, preserve the emotional appeal, and then use these destinations like Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam to keep the booking alive. And this is where I'm going to hand it over first, I guess, to Christy, and then Melissa, you can chime in as well. We're very quickly going to go over how it works when it comes to deposit at GoAway and how we can help you make it a bit flexible.
Yeah, so I'm Christy. Nice to meet everybody. So our deposits are pretty competitive in the market. We have that $1,000 deposit required to block your space, protect your group, and make sure that everything is in place. This deposit is held on file until you reach your minimum numbers. This deposit is fully flexible, so it is transferable to another group booking within 12 months, and that's 12 months within your cancellation. So if you cancel that group today, you'll have 12 months to reuse that deposit to rebook for something else. It's obviously a best idea to strike while the iron is hot and get your group rebooked to a new destination right away. Keep everybody excited about future travel plans. No need to wait until things quote unquote cool off, because there's always something happening. So just pivot right away, get them excited about their new trip coming up, the new destination. And we, of course, have lots of marketing support available. We can do presentations to help you. We could do them a webinar style like this with your clients. And we also offer flyers, social media content, and a full marketing package. We do also offer marketing funds for your groups. All you have to do is provide some proof of your marketing efforts, and we'll take that off of your final invoice as well. So make sure you ask your destination specialist about that.
Mm-hmm. Melissa, do you want to chime in here? Maybe some advice when it comes to how the marketing support actually helps, or anything for agents to deal with the current situation?
Yeah, definitely use us for the marketing. Like I've done a few of the presentations. We'll basically take your itinerary, put it into a webinar style format for you, and you can invite all your clients. We'll record it for you, and then you can post it on social media. So that works really well. That we've had a lot of success with that. People have signed up right away the next day. So definitely use us for the marketing. It really does help.
Thank you. And yeah, just the last slide here. I just want to encourage those of you, especially watching at home, please go to goway.com/groups. This is where, and I was trying to show you through, right here. So you need to ensure that when you're on a website, obviously there's a lot of options for groups and individuals. Please ensure you apply the filter custom groups of 10 plus. This is where we're going to see our exclusive itineraries when it comes to groups only. So I briefly spoke about how you can customize it, and that's what we love here at GoWay. Singapore, Bali could be another option. And if you want to be a bit creative, hop on a call with Sid, with Zet, with myself to try and get some inspiration. And if you want some generic information, if you just want to get a few questions answered, please send us an email at groups@goway.com. Otherwise, essentially that's what we're here to do. We're here to help you explore, get you inspired, you and your group, help you secure the reservations. Being in the business for 56 years, we have amazing partners all over the world, and this is where we can get you and your groups the best rates. And of course, when it comes to customization, this is where our destination specialists are really your best friends. They can make the recommendations similar to how local would make them. And then lastly, what we ended the call with is a marketing support. On top of being the travel specialist, we have an amazing marketing team who've again been doing this for so long that they can help you improve your Facebook page, your website, your flyers. We can put your logo on it, your agency's name, everything that you can think about. So yes, that's something I just wanted to recap. But thank you for everyone who joined live. So thank you, Sylvia. And for those of you who are also watching at home, thank you so much. Again, please reach out, explore our website first, get inspired. Hopefully you can rewatch some of the rewatch this presentation and go through the sample tours. If not, reach out to us and we can actually help you get updated pricing depending on where you're going and at what time of the year. But yes, thank you so much. Appreciate it. I'm just going to end the recording here.